The Stewart Healthcare bankruptcy has been a big storyline this summer here in the Valley. But how does bankruptcy actually work in a legal sense? What happens to your assets or the money you owe? We're getting all the details. Attorney Dave Betras is going to break it all down for us. Dave, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great.
It's
How
Friday.
are you?
I can't believe the Canfield Fair is here already.
I know, it's here.
It's just, this summer, once July 4th hits, it just
over.
flies by. It
Yeah.
does fly by. So the Stewart Healthcare Systems is filing what's called a Chapter 11. That's mainly for corporations. Okay. And they're trying to reorganize their debt. And if they can't reorganize their debt, they go into a total liquidation. Okay. But more people are interested in consumer bankruptcy. So there's a woman in Ohio. She does a lot of bankruptcy. She has 100,000 followers on TikTok. It's called theladylikelawyer.com. Everyone get that? Theladylikelawyer.com. Everything you want to know about bankruptcy is there. So here's what happens. Say you get in over your head. There's two types of bankruptcy, well, really three, that an individual could file. They could file a liquidation, which is they liquidate everything, or a Chapter 13, where they reorganize their debt. And so there's certain exemptions. So let me give you an example of things that aren't subject to the bankruptcy court. You know when you get a mortgage, you take out a bank, well, that mortgage is backed by a secured interest in your property. So that's sort of exempt from bankruptcy because they have a mortgage on that property, so they have a secured piece of property. And I'm going to use a word probably a lot of people haven't heard, but UCC, Uniform Commercial Code. There's a way for businesses and individuals to get security in your property or in your debts collectible for bankruptcy. But here's what people need to know. If you have a home and it's worth up to $160,000, that's exempt, so they're not going to come in and take it. Certain household items, certain cash on hand, but then there's exemptions or there's limits of how many people, and it starts at 70 for 60,000 for one person, and then it moves all the way up depending on the number of people in household. And it is filled with landmines. You really need to go to a lawyer that does bankruptcy. I haven't done bankruptcy in, I'm going to be telling you something, it's going to be 39 years for me. I've been practicing law this November, and I haven't done a bankruptcy case probably in 38 years. So it's not my area that I usually go to, but Adrienne Hines, very, very dear friend of mine, big TikToker, influencer. She's on TikTok as The Ladylike Lawyer. Her website's The Ladylike Lawyer, and I was just on the phone with her. She was giving me my lifelines this morning because this is an area I'm too versed in, but I know enough to be dangerous.
So Dave, tell us, how do you know it's time to file bankruptcy? Where are the signs? Because sometimes the average person or average business owner, they feel like they're a little over their head, but they're not sure if they should pull, the trigger on bankruptcy.
Well, so that's the time you see a bankruptcy lawyer, okay? If you are swimming in debt, if you are at the end of the month getting collection letters, you got judgments against you, they're coming after your wages, they're attaching liens to your property, that's the time when you're just over your head. You know when you're over your head and you're underwater and you're not. A lot of people live paycheck to paycheck. Those are probably not the people that are going to file bankruptcy. But if at the end of the month all your bills aren't getting paid and that interest is accumulating and all of that stuff's happening, I suggest you go to her website or you call her. She comes to this area and does bankruptcies. But that's when you know. I mean, people out there know when they're just in over their head and they feel like they're drowning. You don't have to drown. The bankruptcy laws are there, and people think, oh my God, terrible, I filed bankruptcy. Here's an amazing thing I found out. Your credit score goes up after you come through bankruptcy.
Well, look at that.
Because you can only file bankruptcy once every 7 years. So these creditors know that if you just get out of a bankruptcy, you've wiped out all your debt. You've sort of wiped the slate clean, or you reorganized your debt. But the whole thing is so people don't feel this crushing blow on their chest.
Dave, thank you so much.
And I brought the goodies again. She gave me the thing, you got to wrap it up fast.
I cut him off. I gave him that's enough, Dave.
That's enough, Dave. Cut it off.
No, we thank you for breaking it all down, and I hope that helped someone. There's no reason to drown. There's relief out there.
There is relief out there.
Yes.